The first time he realized how empty his house had become was not on a lonely night or a quiet weekend, but on a bright afternoon when his 6-year-old daughter asked him a question that stopped his heart cold. She asked why every other child at school had a mother at their birthday parties and why hers never would. In that moment, surrounded by sunlight and toys he had bought to fill a silence he could never fix, he understood that money could build a life, but it could not heal one. That single question set into motion a decision so desperate, so strange, that it would forever change 3 lives in ways none of them could have imagined. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the unexpected ways love can enter broken lives, take a moment right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. He was a man who had learned to survive by shutting down everything that hurt. Years ago, when his wife died suddenly from an illness that moved faster than fear, the world had not stopped. Bills still arrived, work still demanded him, his daughter still needed to eat, sleep, and feel safe. So he did what he knew best. He worked longer hours. He spoke less. He folded his grief neatly into a corner of his heart and locked the door. People praised him for being strong, but strength came at a price. His home was immaculate, organized, and painfully quiet. There were no family photos on the walls, no laughter echoing down the hallways, and no warmth lingering in the air. Only routine, responsibility, and a man trying to be 2 parents while feeling like half of himself. His daughter, however, was not fooled by silence. Children sense absence like a draft through an open window. She felt it at school events when other parents arrived as pairs. She felt it at bedtime when stories ended too quickly. And she felt it most deeply when her birthday approached. That year she wanted a party more than anything. Not a big one, not an expensive one, but a normal one. A cake, balloons, friends, and a mother. She never said the last part out loud, but it lived in her eyes, in the way she asked questions, in the drawings she made of families that looked nothing like their own. He tried to talk himself out of the idea for days. It felt wrong, dishonest, even ridiculous. Hiring someone to pretend to be his wife, even for a single day, sounded like something out of a bad movie. But the closer the birthday came, the more desperate he felt. He wasn't trying to deceive the world. He was trying to give his daughter one day of normalcy. One day where she would not feel different, incomplete, or pitied. He told himself it would be harmless. Just a role, just a performance. One day, then done. The woman he hired did not look he expected. She was not glamorous or polished. She wore simple clothes, had tired eyes, and carried herself with a quiet strength that suggested life had not been gentle with her either. She answered his ad out of necessity, not curiosity. She needed the money, that much was clear. But there was something else in her presence, something soft and steady, like warmth you don't notice until it's gone. She listened carefully as he explained the rules. No emotional attachment, no involvement beyond the party, just smiles, introductions, and polite conversation. She agreed without hesitation, as if she had long accepted that life sometimes asked people to pretend. The day of the birthday arrived with clear skies and nervous hearts. The house was transformed with decorations he had carefully ordered online, each item chosen to compensate for what he could not provide. Balloons filled the living room. A cake sat proudly on the table. Friends began to arrive, children laughing, parents smiling. And then the woman stepped into her role. She moved through the house like she belonged there. She greeted guests with warmth, helped children feel comfortable, and somehow managed to make the space feel alive. For the first time in years, the house did not feel like a shelter, it felt like a home. His daughter noticed immediately. She watched the woman with wide eyes, studying every movement, every smile.
When the woman knelt to fix her dress or brushed crumbs from her hands, something inside the child softened. She laughed more freely that day. She ran faster. She smiled wider. And when she introduced the woman as her mother to her friends, the man felt something crack open in his chest. Guilt and gratitude collided, leaving him breathless. He had given his daughter a lie, but the happiness was real, and that terrified him.
What was supposed to end after the party did not. His daughter clung to the woman at the end of the day, asking when she would come back. The woman looked at him then, really looked at him, and he saw something flicker behind her calm expression. Compassion, perhaps, or understanding. He offered to pay her extra for another visit, just one more. Then another. The lie grew roots, and before he could stop it, it became part of their routine. The woman began coming by on weekends. She helped with homework, cooked meals, and listened to bedtime stories. She never crossed the line he had drawn, but she stood close enough to it that he began to question why he had drawn it at all. Slowly, changes crept into his life. He started coming home earlier. The house grew messier, louder, warmer. He caught himself laughing, something he had not done in years. And the woman, who had once felt like an outsider, began to feel like a presence his soul had been waiting for. She did not replace his late wife. She did not erase the past. Instead, she honored it by helping them move forward. She spoke of his wife with respect, never jealousy. She listened when grief resurfaced, never trying to fix it, only to sit with it. The greatest challenge came not from the lie itself, but from the fear of losing what they had built. The man lived in constant anxiety that the truth would shatter everything. He worried about his daughter's heart, about his own growing attachment, about the woman who had become essential without ever being promised permanence. And the woman, too, carried her own pain. She had lived a life marked by abandonment and survival. She had learned not to hope, not to dream. Yet here she was, slowly becoming part of a family that was never meant to be hers. The breaking point came when his daughter, with the innocent honesty only children possess, asked if families could choose each other. The question landed like a quiet explosion. That night, he realized that pretending had become more dangerous than telling the truth. He understood that love, even when born from a lie, was still love, and love demanded courage. He sat alone, wrestling with the weight of his choices, knowing that whatever came next would change everything. When the truth finally surfaced, it did not come with shouting or anger. It came with tears, confusion, and a silence heavier than any argument. His daughter cried, not because she felt betrayed, but because she feared losing the woman she had come to love. The man felt the full force of his guilt then, realizing that he had underestimated his child's capacity for understanding. And the woman, standing at the edge of a family she had grown to cherish, prepared herself to walk away, believing that was the price of pretending. But life surprised them all. The child did not reject the truth. She accepted it with a wisdom that humbled them. She said that even if the woman was not her mother by birth, she had been one by choice. That statement, simple and profound, reshaped everything. It gave the man permission to forgive himself. It gave the woman permission to hope. And it gave the family a chance to rebuild on honesty instead of fear. From that day forward, nothing was fake. The woman stayed, not as an employee, but as someone who had earned her place through care, patience, and love. The man learned that strength did not mean doing everything alone. It meant allowing others to help carry the weight. And the house, once silent and cold, became a place where grief and joy coexisted, where memories were honored but not chained, and where love was chosen every single day. As the years passed, the story of how they came together became something they smiled about, not something they hid. It reminded them that broken beginnings could still lead to beautiful endings, that kindness, even when born from desperation, had the power to heal, and that sometimes the family you need is not the one you plan, but the one that finds you when you least expect it.
Before this story ends, take a moment to comment below and share what this journey made you feel. Your words matter more than you know. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the quiet power of compassion and the courage it takes to love again, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and stay connected with this channel. Your support helps stories like this reach others who may be standing at the edge of their own second chance. In the end, it was never about a fake wife or a single birthday. It was about a man learning to open his heart again, a woman discovering she was worthy of belonging, and a child teaching them both that love is not defined by blood or contracts, but by presence, choice, and the bravery to stay.